The game ain't based on sympathy. I'll leave it at that.
Man, it's your boy Action Jackson, and in today's video, man, I'm going to be going over what Madden's prediction of what the Dallas Cowboys are going to do in the 2021-22 NFL season, regular season. I'm not going into postseason. If you guys want a postseason, I'll put a part 2 of what the stats will look like then. So yeah, man, let's hop into the video, man. All right, so I put everything, you see my settings right here. I have it on all Madden, competitive. Try to make it as realistic as possible as I can. I put on the best starters that could be on there. I turned on, the trade deadline is on there, so that's why there's no possible trades after week 8. Kept on, when you have on career clock, it says right here, when disabled, no clock scenarios will trigger for your league, which is fine. I turn off all injuries so everybody's healthy. So that's why they have like a more accurate prediction. Even though Madden's prediction is super flawed, I'm gonna tell you right now before we even get into anything else. Madden's logic right now is always off. It always has been off. So you guys are really going to be surprised by some of these results. Career length, quarter length, my bad. I put it on for 15 minutes. Okay, so as right now, I show you right now. They have us winning the division at 11-6, which I have the Cowboys winning the division anyway at around 10 or 7, 11-6 also. But I believe we'll get a couple more wins, not more like that. If everything goes right, I see us anywhere from 10 to at least 12 or 13 wins. But it's fine. Madden has us at 11. But what's really interesting is that they have the Eagles at 11-6. But this is one of the flawed points I'm heading into with Madden. Colin Kaepernick is starting with the Eagles, not Jalen Hurts. So they have Colin Kaepernick starting with the Eagles, and he took the Eagles to the playoffs. Yeah, the Cowboys at 11-6, Eagles 11-6, Giants 8-9, football team 6-11. Like I said, had all injuries off. Pre-existing injuries off, so that's why there was no prior injuries like during preseason or off-season, anything like that. So turn all those off, and I surprised everyone hyped up about the Giants and the football team, and none of them were able to compete in the division, which is really surprising. But yeah, as you see right now, they have us facing off against the Niners. They're coming to us at Dallas, of course, because we have the higher seed and things like that. But let me show you the playoff bracket. Right now at the playoff bracket, I don't really remember too much. I remember they had the Chiefs at like 15-2 and Seattle at 13-4. So the NFC side wasn't too far apart, and I don't really remember what the difference between was from the 1 and 2 seed on the AFC side. But I just know like they had Kansas City at 15 wins. So looking at the NFC side, they have us at the 2 seed. I really hope this happens. I would love to see a Cowboys and Niners playoff game, but I don't know if we make it as high as the 2nd seed. That means, of course, we'll have to be healthy at the right time. Everyone has to be clicking. Defense has to step up. Offense will just have to be more efficient. No turnovers. Hopefully, offensive line stays intact. Dak Prescott's healthy. Zeke is running the ball, not fumbling, and wide receivers are healthy. If everyone's mostly healthy for the majority of the season, and I understand NFL players are hurt every single. They tell you these NFL players are always hurt, and some they battle through it. Everyone's dealing with some sort of injury in the NFL. So hopefully we're healthy at the right time and things like that. Chemistry is great. So you have some reoccurring playoff matches I see so far with the. Starting with the NFC, of course, you got the Bears and the Eagles. That was a matchup from 2 or 3 years ago. Rams, Panthers. You got the Panthers at a high seed. They got Sam Darnold out here looking goonish. They got us at the 2nd seed versus the Niners. And you look at the left side, they have the Browns and Steelers playoff matchup from last year. Titans and Jags. That's going to be. I don't know if that's, they're hyping up Trevor Lawrence, so I don't know. Honestly, if this is even a matchup, I don't even think this is going to be a matchup. This is just Madden doing Madden type things. Bills and Ravens, this is a rematch of the divisional playoffs, just the season just passed, so like last season. So yeah, let's go into the individual team stats for the Dallas Cowboys. Ignore the left side for a little bit because those stats are kind of flawed. But right now, what I'm highlighted on is the team stats, and as it says, it views the team's cumulative stats. So that's all counting yards and everything like that from the backups and everything. So like I said, all these yards are pretty flawed because you don't know how the NFL season can actually go, and in this season they have like a lot of weird players starting and getting yards. So Madden's prediction, Madden is not always right. So yeah, so they have us fourth in offensive yards at 6,527 yards. Do I have me being a Cowboy fan, and everybody's gonna automatically assume I have a biased opinion, but I already have us as top 5 cumulative offensive yards anyway. Like, I believe we're gonna be a top 5 offense, fully healthy, offensive lines intact, Zeke isn't fumbling, Dax is upright and everything like that. I have us, everything goes right offensively, I have us top two not two offense. If we just stick to a balanced type of team, we're still a top 5 offense. So this really isn't too far off from anybody's prediction, whether they're on the big networks like FS1, ESPN, and all that 3 or 4 letter networks, and some Cowboy realists out there. They have us at the top 5 as offensive yards. So being number 4 to me, like I said, this is Madden, so I'm just basing off their predictions. And then going into defensive yards, and nothing, they have us in defensive. They really have the Cowboys defense really like hyped up, because like, I'll get into it more, but you'll see right now, like, defensive yards were 12th. If this can even remotely happen where we're middle of the pack defense, because we were 11th against the pass, but we were 31st against the run, which made us about like a 28th, 29th ranked defense. But the only reason why we were so high against the pass is because everyone was able to run the ball. Everyone was able to run the ball at free will against us. So nobody really needed to ever throw against the Cowboys. So that's the reason why we were so poor there. But 12th there, if we're 12th in defensive yards, all I'm asking for in an IRL season is for us the offense picks up where it left off with Dak Prescott. Now, if you want to be funny, say his ankle injury, okay, cool. But if you're talking about the first 4.5 weeks, I'm fine with that. And Dak and everyone knows what our offense was looking like before injury. And then we put up all those points with an undrafted right tackle and an undrafted left tackle, and Zach Martin being your best offensive lineman throughout the entire year. So I can only imagine, if the offense stays healthy and the defense just meets us halfway with the offense, Dallas can legitimately be a threat. I'm not going to be unrealistic. I understand that's why I know in the NFL you have to pick one or choose. You can either be elite on defense, or you can either be elite on defense or trash on offense, or elite on offense and trash on defense. But for you to be a Super Bowl contender, or just for you to be a contender in general, you have to have at least an average to an above average defense, and then an offense that's able to score points when need be. So defense can only allow 12th in yards. I'll be ecstatic. All right, then right here they have us for point scoring. So a scoring offense, they have us at 6th. That's fine. Teams ahead of us were, I believe, the Chiefs, of course, Bills, Panthers, and Browns, I want to say, were ahead of us. So not too many teams were in front of us. We were 6th in points scored. Not bad. 444, not bad. Like I said, Madden's prediction, they're more high on the Cowboys than what people try to say about Cowboy fans. I mean, look at Madden. They have us saying that our defense is only going to be ninth in points allowed. Like I said, could this happen? Yes, it could. Anything is possible in the world, and especially in the NFL. Like, once you get older and you start realizing the game, anything could be possible, and it's nothing's out of the question, or nothing's out of the ordinary. So Matt has this as only being 9th points allowed. That means you look at some of these rankings being 12th for defensive yards and 9th points allowed. you're looking at Dallas so far. They have us echelon the defeat of defense right now, man. They have us around like at least anywhere from being a top 12 defense. And if that's even remotely true, sheesh, man. Sky's the limit. That's all I gotta say, man. Sky's the limit. If Madden really has us as if we can be a top 12 offense in real life and be a top 6, top 5 offense in the NFL, that would be amazing. So, like I said, it's Madden. This isn't true, so this is just their prediction. Dak was 12th, and yeah, he was. Let me see. Let me look back on my notes. Dak was 13th in passing yards with 4,421 passing yards, 28 touchdowns, and 17 interceptions. I don't really care about this stat line because I'm about to show you more in depth on the stats, and it'll show you why he's only throwing 28 touchdowns, and you got to count for his rushing touchdowns also, and he rushed for 4 rushing touchdowns, so you add his 28 plus the 4, that's 32 touchdowns in total that Dak has scored. So, but if we're just looking at the throwing aspect, he is a quarterback, not a running back. He has a completion percentage of 65%. Yards per game is 260. His passer rating is 94. His yards per attempt is 8 yards. So no more of that, trying to say he's thinking, dacking, and all that other stuff. He's at least throwing for close to first downs every single time. His longest throw of the year was 41. Sacks, times he got sacked was 21 times. Zeke, they have him finishing 5th in rushing yards. So right now, basically what I'm getting a gauge of is that Madden believes that we're going to be a balanced team. And that's what I want the Dallas Cowboys to be anyway. I want them to be a balanced team where we can also run the ball. I don't want Dak to throw for 6,000 yards like he was on pace to do last year, because like he said in the interview before, if he's throwing for 6,000 yards, that means we're not running the ball, which is true. So I want us to... Dak still threw for over 3,000 yards. He got over that hump of everyone clowning him about that. So he's throwing for 4,000 yards right now, on Madden at least, for 4,000 yards. And he has 32 total touchdowns. He has 28 passing, 4 rushing. I mean, they have Zeke at, 1338. He's finished 5th in rushing again. He had 11 touchdowns. I believe that's tied 5th, right now on all running backs. He fumbled twice. Great compared to last season. I think he fumbled like 6 times. I want to say he fumbled, but shoot, if he can, I don't want him to fumble at all. But if he can really decrease that fumble ratio, that'd be great. He led the team in rushing, but they had Tony Pollard with 14. Like I said, if we're more of a balanced team, I believe Zeke and Tony Pollard will both get great carries. I believe Zeke will still get over 1,000, but I believe Tony Pollard will be more of that upper echelon, around like 600 to 700 rushing yards. So, but he has 14 touchdowns right now. He led the league and he led the team receiving and led the team in touchdowns. So they used Tony Pollard in some form of way, and then Zeke got 5 yards a pop, almost 4.9. That's 5 yards to me. And then Tony Pollard with 3.6. That's great. That means we're able to run the ball. Like I said, everything's healthy. So this is what a possibly healthy Dallas Cowboy team can look like. Amari Cooper, he led the team receiving in 1,283 yards, and that is 6th amongst all receivers. And he led the receiving. He led the receivers and receiving touchdowns in 12, which is really great. His longest catch of the year was 37. Of course, he played all the games. He got 12.5 yards a catch. He averaged 75 yards a game. Run after contact with 390. Then you have CeeDee Lamb finishing at 2 with 961 yards. So no 2 1,000 yards receivers. Like I said, that means we're more of a balanced team. I love when we're a balanced team than more of either a run-centric team or a pass-centric team. I'd rather be balance where nobody can really get a gauge of what we're doing, and we're able to pick your poison. You know, either or not you want to stop us in the pass game, we're able to run. You stop us in the run game, we're able to pass. So I like that. Michael Gallup, 721 yards, 4 touchdowns. That's fine to me. Maybe, hopefully, if he has some stats like this, maybe we're able to retain him. I don't know. But like I said, I want everybody to ball out on my team. So sky's the limit for these guys. Jalen Smith led the team in tackles, and he tied interceptions with Jordan Lewis with 3. That's pretty flawed right there with Jalen Smith leading the team in interceptions. Not totally unrealistic, but it could happen. He's probably in the right place at the right time. Defensive line causing pressure, sending blitzes and things like that Dan Quinn does. So okay, so DeMarcus Lawrence, he led the team in sacks with 12.5, and amongst defensive line, that is top 10. So they're having DeMarcus Lawrence with a 12.5 sack season, which would be amazing for us as Cowboy fans. Neville Gallimore came in second with 9 sacks, and you know, if that's even remotely true, and Neville Gallimore, he's gonna definitely not be there week 1 of the NFL season. He's probably gonna miss the first month. They have him at 9. Then you have Michael Parsons with 3 sacks. You have Keanu Neal with 4. So, you know, the defensive line causing a lot of pressure. And if the defensive line can get home, this will make the secondary job a whole lot easier, as they say all the time in the NFL. So there's no reason to really harp on that, man. These are Madden's predictions of the NFL 2021-22 season. These are now my predictions. Like I said, these are kind of flawed. This is Madden. This is what we're talking about. So you already know they don't really have flawed logic on it anyway. So, you know, it was a lot of crazy stats. We finished. We had a number 2 seed. Defense was 9th in points allowed and 12th against yards allowed, and it was a super crazy. You know, they had our defense like up in the upper echelon, like top 10 defense, and I'm not really surprised about our offensive stats being top 5 or anything like that. So yeah, it's more of a balanced team on offense, which is what I love, which I hope that kind of remains true. So yeah, man, thank you guys for tuning in to my YouTube video, man. Thank you guys for all the continuous support. Have a nice day. Bye.